For me, I like to connect to the movie, to understand the main character, to understand what the movie is talking about, to be able to like emotionally sink myself into it, then just flow. My name is Tolu Obanro. I'm a film composer, a sound designer, and a final mix engineer. I started doing gospel songs. I've done like a lot of gospel songs. I can't even start to count, but let me pick the ones that you may know. Almost every Mike Abdul songs, Monique, Edam. I produce Watimagbo, Pulu Adafumi. I produce You Are God, You Are Not Just Because. That was pretty much it. I met somebody that met another person that now required my sounds for movie, and that was King of Boys 1 for movies.
You have
won the battle line. Standing up.
If you give me a scene now, say somebody is doing something, just try it. Then I'll just tell you, okay, are there cars around? I mean, you have imaginary scene right here. So, are there cars around? Is there somebody trying to like help this person that's been knocked down by a vehicle? If there's somebody, then there should be like, the tempo should be a little high because probably you'll be safe. But if there is nobody, it should just go mellow. I mean, let the sound lose its life the way the person is about to lose his life.
I'm Laburu. God's worst punishment in a person.
For some movies, I just read the script and I understand it. But for most movies, I want to see the first cut. Because most times what you are trying to interpret in the film, you might not get to see them in the papers. Okay, so for House of Secrets, Nia Kimolayan, of course, I mean, big ups to him. He was the first to like, okay, this House of Secrets, this is the kind of sound I want. But in my mind, Gadobo 7, ding. Then I kept trying to like infuse the feel of that. His action, his spies, but he kept telling me, it's more than the action we can see. There's a backstory, there's love in this, and the love should, trust me, if I had scored it wrongly, maybe I'd like decided that, okay, I really want to see action in this, you will not feel that connection between Sean Fakwa and Eferele. So it was more like he kept saying his love, but I mean that was before the movie was shot. So in my mind, let me quickly create one James Bond Jijin, maybe to convince him the big Hollywood and all this. So that was what I was just targeting, like, okay, let me just do this. But he kept saying, so I made a sound like that's sound I shot a video for. I made it before the movie was shot. So when the movie came, I now watched it. He now explained it, and I understood like, oh, I don't want to say oh shit, but it was like, oh shit, this is so good.
She escaped.
She remembers. Who are you people?
There are some build-ups to the movie that could have like made the whole movie very dull. So I thought of sequences. Like some of those run was like for 10 minutes. I was like, I can't leave this just dry. If you leave it dry, people might really just disconnect from the full movie. So I started a sequence. I was watching and playing. So I watched and played, stopped, followed where he removed his glasses, played, stopped. Then I built on everything I had played. Then I took out the Ejewuro, especially, then I had to recreate it properly, then brought it back. And pretty much the process for House of Secrets, and it's the first of its kind. I've not done any of that process. I kind of always like it when people say this is similar to this. It's always like a challenge when I want to ask myself, okay, Tolu, are you beginning to sound similar? But I think the similarity is just that it was well done. Like it was scored to cut to scale. Jadi as a director, Jadi Oshibere, big ups to her. She's very intense. Trust me, she's very intense. So I mean, There are some cuts I just look at it like, okay, I can fly this and just go to this scene. They're like, no, please, there's a movement on that camera. Did you see the way the camera went? There should be a sound. I was like, okay. So Jade was that very intense, and it's like, it was way, I thought I would finish in 3 days or max 3 weeks. I think I ended up doing that sound for 3 months.
They say kings are never buried alone.
So the recording for Gangs of Lagos was live. I had like 17 or 18 percussionists just there to play percussions. The opening credits, they had what to play for the opening. They played it. Some fights they played it. Some flights they played it. I also got the Ayo sound from an Ayo guy, like that. Then I just started building my orchestra around everything I'd recorded.
When I was a baby, there was a premonition that I would not only become the street king.
For Gang,
like my father.
Gangs, it was built around scenes and built around characters. Character in the sense that the bad guy is a butcher. Anytime you see him, you hear the nice sound, shout. So that was the sound I built around this character, and then I built it like he's a bad guy. So I built a sound for him, like all through. Then I tried to like take out some, put in some, depending on his mood. If he's happy, that same sound will just come a little happy in a way with some piano. If he's angry, the full sound you're expecting. The same for Oba, he kept growing. As he was growing, his sounds kept growing. Then what's his name? Panam was like the Igbo guy. So in all his involvements, you hear the Oja flute. You just hear the Oja flute. So most times I just follow what the director wants, and it's pretty easy. For some things, let me use House of Secrets again because it's most recent. I can't really wrap my head around any other one. So Panam again, right? Panam and Malik were fighting. They're like friends. They were like brothers. So instead of concentrating on the fight and putting the action, bing, I had to break it down to emotion. Like, okay, come on, these are two brothers. They shouldn't be fighting. But fine, they are now on like different sides of the situation, and then so it was action like down, but it was also emotional, like no drum, no nothing, just strings pulling together. So that when that guy died, I'm sure so many people felt for Malik that this guy killed him. They also felt for him that he had to kill his friend just to save his family. So that is an interpretation on its own. If I had missed that, I'm sure most people wouldn't like be able to connect to that scene the way like they did.
Tired of this generational curse.
Anoint my children with the blood of Jesus.
We're not cursed. And what are we? We are a special family.
Films are not just, some people go on Twitter and just like write stuff and I'll just shake my head. Fine. There are some people that are not doing this right, but a lot of people put a lot of effort into this thing. Like a lot. Some people don't go home, they just hang around just to make sure that they might not get their best yet, and don't even tell me budget is not involved. So it's a lot to make a good film, and sound is not just the only thing. It's very essential because a bad sound will put you off before you even know what the story is about. So of course the photography, the lighting, I already said the cinematography, that's what I want to say, the costume, the actors and all that. For me, I've had like taste of like different movies. Somebody was telling me, why will they do Nigerian movie without speaking any language in it? And in that way, you can really tell that when people outside this country watch your movie and they hear that, they want to believe that's what you people do here. So the way we carry our culture, the way we carry ourselves as a country, and then replicate that in our movie, because that's what we are trying to do, like recreate real life situations or fictions that can happen around here, or that's how they like really receive it outside here. Like this is how they do it, and you don't see it in their movies. So I really think pretty much that people should try to represent this country well, because your art And the films you make really go a long way in telling people how this country is.
If you come to mommy and you go collect too. You want to attack me?
No, sir.
Are you a he good? Tough boy like you, don't know that you use long.
I think that different films have like different purposes. Like I don't know how else to put that, but it's just like this. When you see a film and they say plus 18, if you are not 18, don't watch, because people that are 18 really want to see that film. Do you understand? And then when you see a film that they say is a fiction, don't bother. They are not trying to tarnish your image in any way. Then when you see a film that they say this is a true story, you should be worried if the story is not telling. Then when you see a film that they say this is like the exact replica of what is happening in so place in Nigeria, then you should be worried if it's wrongly interpreted. I think that's how far I want to go. I can say I've done close to 20 movies. Some I'm not even out yet, and you know that thing keeps you grounded. You don't get to go out, you don't get to do a lot. So I wrote then that I think I'm going to do Woman King. I think I would like to do a film like Woman King. I would like to do a Hollywood thing, and that's pretty much coming together now.